Okay, alright y'all, it is story time. Let me tell you why literally everyone thinks I'm an 80-year-old lady with broken bones. Now, I'm sharing this story because someone once told me that this builds character. He literally said that to me. I was breaking my back in half trying out gymnastics. I literally told him, I think I broke my back in half because my ribs flared out while I was trying to do like a backflip or something like that. Anyways, he goes, that's okay, it builds character. And I'm like, yeah, I guess if I'm not paralyzed or dead, but alright. Now why, might you ask, Ruha, do people think you are an old, frail woman? And that is because I cannot sit on my leg. So I can't sit on my thighs on the ground, and I cannot pray properly, which was the biggest thing since Ramadan just happened recently. I need to pray using a chair or some sort of place that I can sit. I use this corner of my bed at home. Previously, I couldn't even bend my leg this way or even sit this way, and now thankfully I can. So it was bad. Basically, I sit on a chair in the mosque, and because those chairs are usually reserved for the elderly, people always stare at me like I'm the weirdest human being ever, because I'm this like young, active woman who's walking around, setting up chairs with my mom, who is also a volunteer at the mosque, so I volunteer with her. And you know, we're cleaning up, we're setting up, we're doing a bunch of things, running around, and then I go and pray on the chair, and people are like, one, what is wrong with you? Or two, why are you so lazy, woman? And while I do not care about what people think, I have been asked so many times at this point that if someone asks me again, I kid you not, I am just going to send them this video. I'm just going to be like, go watch this video if you're curious. If you're curious enough, go watch this video. I am done explaining this to people. Because people will literally stare at me, and then if they ever strike up a conversation with me, they'll be like, are you okay? What's wrong? Did something happen? And then I have to go through the whole story because that's how I am. I'm very honest. But at this point, I just go, oh, I hurt myself. Done. And here is how I hurt myself. Alright, so as you know, your girl is active. And unfortunately or fortunately, I'm very overactive. So essentially what happened, back in September, I decided, hey, I want to learn how to do the splits. My childhood goal, if you will, was to be able to do the splits. And now I'm finally like, you know what, Ruha, you can actually still do it. You can still build flexibility. Flexibility people have naturally as well, genetically, but you can still build flexibility. And I was like, you know what? I am fulfilling this dream of being able to do the splits. Also, I was choosing my next fitness goal, and I was like, you know what? The chin-up training is taking a while. I'm still working on that, by the way. Whenever I get my chin up, or I might just make a progress video, whenever I get my chin up, I will make a video on it. If you want to see some progress stuff or just some insight into it, check out my TikTok. Anyways, okay, the chin-up training was taking a while. It was obviously going to take me a while to be able to get my first chin-up, and I thought, you know what, I need a little bit of extra spice. So let's throw in a split challenge. So let's learn how to do the splits. And that is where I screwed up, because one little thing about me is I like to move, like physically and figuratively. Like, I like to move fast, I like to learn things, I just like to move in life, figuratively and physically, which translates to me usually moving too fast. That's something that I'm working on, trying to move at the right pace, but for now I'm dealing with moving too fast. Now, how that even relates to what I'm talking about is I pushed myself too far too fast. I was very, very excited to do the splits, and I'm like, okay, I want to do this exercise, I want to do that exercise, and I want to do that exercise, and I injured myself, unfortunately. I literally did split training the night before, and I wake up and I can't sit on my leg. And I come upstairs, and I usually sit on my bed to floss, and I'll like watch a little 5-minute video or something while I'm flossing, and I couldn't put my leg up like this. It hurt when I stretched it out, and I was baffled. I'm like, what happened? And like the smart little lady I am, I was like, oh, it'll heal itself. I'll just let it be. I'll let it heal. I'll pause the split training. It'll heal by itself. And that, my friends, was probably one of my greatest mistakes Not a good idea. Please do not do this. If you are going to train like an athlete, please heal like an athlete, and please train your body, or please rest your body like an athlete. Now that was my biggest mistake, because for literally 3 months, and I kid you not, September, October, November doesn't exist. September, October, November, I just went about my life, and I modified my life so I wouldn't sit on my leg, because I kid you not, this hurt. This was absolutely painful. I could not bend my leg. My leg had to be straight, otherwise it was in pain. And it was terrible, because by the end of those 3 months, I could not walk across campus without my leg being on absolute fire. And not a good fire. Not that nice burn that you feel after a really, really good training session. No, the fire where your house is burning and you feel the heat on your skin, and it is not good heat. Okay, that is how much my leg would be on fire. Not only my leg, but my left hip started being affected. When I extended it backwards, my hip would hurt, and so my entire lower body started getting messed up. At this point, I'm like, wait, Ruel, hold up. It's been 3 months. Your leg is still not healed. Maybe let's look into a little bit. Now, before you call me crazy and before you go like, Ruha, it's your own fault, let me explain a little bit. There are a lot of moving parts in my life, especially back then. I was juggling 3 plates full, not even 1 plate full. I was juggling 3 plates full, and I was at the brink. So I really had to prioritize. Do I do this? Do I do this? Do I do this? What do I focus my time on? I have this many hours. What do I do? Because I can only be so efficient. At one point, you just have to cut. Now keep in mind, at that point, and still to this day, I'm working on my wrist injury, which causes me the greatest grief. Like, this is the greatest grief of my life, if you will. Okay, right now, this is giving me the most pain. So I'm still actively working on this. I spend an hour of physio every single night, and I'm thinking, do I add more physio to it? Do I stress out my physiotherapist even more and go to her with another injury? Okay, that's why I decided to take it in my own hands and just let it rest. Once again, not a great idea. Don't rationalize the healing process. Please just go get checked out by a professional. Which at this point, I started talking to a couple of friends. And one of my friends was like, oh, you need to go to a chiro. You need to go to a chiro. It's a back problem. I promise you, it's a back problem. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go to a chiro. I will, instead of going to my physiotherapist, I will go to a chiro. Now, I don't mean that sarcastically, because the chiro that I saw was really good. She did shockwave therapy on my calf. It did help about 50% of the pain she helped me with, I would say. But we did hit a roadblock where I wasn't able to move past that pain threshold, or I wasn't able to get better from that point. And that's when I thought, I need to go to an actual physiotherapist, because this is a muscular issue. And while a modern chiropractor can help me with muscular issues, that's really a physiotherapist's job. And my physiotherapist is absolutely amazing. So I should have seen her immediately. Even like if I decided I was going to see someone, I wish I saw a physiotherapist. But regardless, got a good chiro. I've actually gotten a few good sessions there, so still, benefit is there. Anywho, go to my physiotherapist, and since then, since December, I have been actively working on this injury, in addition to other parts of my body that hurt, because my wrist is not the only injured thing. I'm trying to do injury prevention on other parts of my body, unfortunately. So I've been actively working on my leg with my physiotherapist since December, and thankfully it has improved a lot. I'm almost to the point where I'm almost healed. I have about 5% of pain compared to the original pain left. I still can't sit on my leg for very long. More than 10 seconds, my calf starts hurting, aching, if you will. It's not sharp pain like it used to be. But like I said, 5% of pain remains, but I've made a lot of progress. However, because I can't sit on it for more than 10 seconds, I'm still using chairs to pray. I'm still not sitting on the ground in certain ways, at my friend's place, and so on and so forth, which is why people think I am an old 80-year-old lady, with frail bones, if you will. Now, of course, this is a joke. Power to all the 80-year-old women out there who are living their best life. But it's really just become a joke with my friends and family that I'm this broken doll because I've been working on my wrist injury for so long. Now there's a leg injury. I'm working on other parts of my body that hurt. Kind of a lot going on. Anyways, that is the story of why people think I'm an elderly woman with broken bones. I hope you enjoyed, like I said, building a little bit of character here. And with that, until next time.